You can see there is a noticeable mark on its hoof. If we hadn't discovered and treated it promptly, it might have been naturally eliminated from the population.
On the vast Qinghai-Tibet Plateau, which spans 2.5 million square kilometers, it's surprising that some wild animals struggle to find a safe habitat. Fortunately, there is a group of dedicated unnamed guardians in Qinghai who treat these animals like family, committed to their protection, never leaving their side.
This is our wildlife rescue and isolation site.
I saw many animals here.
Yes.
He Shunfu is the deputy director of Qinghai-Tibet Plateau Wildlife Park. Recently, he has been taking care of a Qiang that is only about 2 months old.
The poor little guy is struggling to stand up and walk. It's possible that it was born with a deformed hoof. This deformity could prevent it from migrating and lead to abandonment by the herd.
The Qiang is a national first-class protected animal, unique to the Qinghai-Tibet Plateau. It can reach speeds of up to 50 kilometers per hour, earning it the title of Plateau Traveler. This particular young Qiang has not yet been weaned and, unfortunately, cannot move. It has been at the rescue center for just over a week. Despite this, it shows no fear of people at all.
Now we're adding calcium to its food to aid its growth and correcting its walking. We care for it every day, then over the time, it may become too accustomed to humans, which could hinder its ability to avoid natural predators and adapt to living in groups after being released into the wild. This would decrease its chances of being released into the wild.
During the interview, He Shunfu suddenly received an emergency message. The Public Security Bureau is transferring an injured animal to the rescue center. It turned out to be a cormorant, a terrestrial wild animal recognized by China for its significant ecological, scientific, and social value.
Judging by its feather color, this appears to be a young bird from this year.
I noticed that its wings were bent and couldn't be unfolded.
In order to determine the extent of the injury, we will conduct a comprehensive examination.
Sudden encounters with wild animals in need of rescue are a part of He Shunfu's daily life. However, his greatest hope is to bid farewell to these animals happily, as it signifies their return to nature, healthy and strong.
This is a national second-class protected animal, known as upland buzzard. It may not have eaten anything in the wild and was unable to fly, which led to its rescue in Gonghe County, near Qinghai Lake. Next week, we'll transfer it to our rewilding training ground to assess its hunting skills. If its hunting ability checks out, we will release it locally.
However, being released into the wild is sometimes not the best arrangement for animals. Snow leopard Lingxia was rescued in critical condition with paralyzed hind limbs. Thanks to the dedicated care of the reserve staff, it miraculously regained the ability to stand. However, after being saved, it can no longer survive alone in the wild. Lingxia often approaches tourists and shows curiosity toward humans, but Zhao Hailong will never forget their encounter 4 years ago. Lingxia was hiding under a herdsman's car, weak and exposed to the rain. At that moment, he had no idea that there was an even more tragic story behind Lingxia.
Lingxia was likely around 1 year old when it was rescued. During a physical examination, we found an issue with its tail vertebrae. They were reversed. In a healthy tail, the white side should face downward, which indicates that Lingxia's tail was injured. Additionally, we discovered that Lingxia has reflux in its heart, indicating congenital heart disease, which limits its ability to catch prey in the wild. This is one of the primary reasons we decided against releasing Lingxia back into its natural habitat.
Zhao Hailong has had a passion for animals since childhood, which led him to take elective courses in animal husbandry and veterinary medicine. He has now worked in the wildlife park for 16 years.
Our annual rescue volume is substantial. We rescue not just snow leopards, but all kinds of animals. Each of our rescue animals is treated equally. We value them all the same. Even if they can't return to the wild, they can live here without worrying about food or shelter, which is a positive outcome. The doors of our animal enclosure are always open. If a snow leopard wants to stay in the enclosure, it can. If it prefers to bask in the sun or explore outdoors, it can do that.
As a national science education base, and every member cares deeply for the animals that need support, the zoo attracts over 500,000 tourists each year. Sometimes the wildlife park functions as a nursery, sometimes as a hospital. The staffs act as caregivers, providing round-the-clock attention, and they also serve as teachers, teaching ecological conservation. For these animals, especially those abandoned by their herds, this place is not just a facility, it is a home.